Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This video is our Grey's Anatomy Season 16 finale reaction. It's weird to be talking about a Grey's Anatomy finale in April. Here we are.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I'm not gonna lie, this actually kind of felt like a finale.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm getting this increasing sense that more and more networks aren't wanting to call these episodes that were like the last before filming was cut off their finales, because I think they're kind of worried about it. Oh, this isn't a typical finale. It doesn't have the stakes. This actually did feel a lot like a Grey's Anatomy finale. Granted,
Yeah.
they didn't kill off someone in some sort of horrible death, which they have done in finales before.
They kind of killed Owen's heart, though.
That
was so rough.
That was bad. There's a lot to get to here. We have to talk about Owen. Where is Owen now riding on DeLuca's motorcycle far away from the hospital?
I would probably be. That was so heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's really tough. We'll talk through Owen. We'll talk about Richard. We'll give DeLuca a pat on the back. DeLuca actually saves the day. Before we talk about anything else here, though, if you guys do like this video, remember to give us a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Just because Grey's is done, it doesn't mean we're done. We do have more discussions coming up.
Yep.
Let us start, I believe, with Teddy and Owen, because this, I guess, is sort of the cliffhanger where you don't really know what's going to happen, but I mean, I can't imagine in a million years that Owen is going to be like, okay, yeah, let's get married anyway. We'll reschedule it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that whole rescheduling and not telling Teddy, I mean, obviously, at this point, he needs a little bit of time to sort of deal with what he's heard, what we all heard. Not only that, but everybody in the surgery room. I mean, it was so humiliating on top of just heartbreaking. Like, there's multiple levels of just misery that he's got to unpack with this before he's even gonna really figure out what he wants to do or even talk to Teddy. I mean, they have a family together, and I know there's a lot of people out there are kind of like, oh, once a cheater, always a cheater. And that can be true, but there are other factors in this whole thing. I mean, is it true with Teddy specifically, or is it was she saying goodbye? Is this forgivable? Do they move forward with their kids? Do they just co-parent? Like, there's a lot of stuff for Owen to go through, but right now I think he's just going to have to unpack all that pain and humiliation.
It's a difficult situation. I think it doesn't seem as though everyone in the operating room, when the voicemail rang out for everyone to hear, it didn't feel like they really got a sense of what was going on, but Owen kind of knew.
I kind of feel like they kind of suspected.
I think they might have. Let us know in the comments what you think a lot about this, because this is an interesting debate.
Yeah, I mean, I know Owen tried to be like, oh, it's just, she's giving me a private wedding gift, that sort of thing. But I mean, the look on Levi's face told me that he didn't think that that's what was happening.
I honestly didn't know. I felt like some people may not fully know, but because Owen has been so like on the radar about Karasik and Teddy that he may detect it in a way that others didn't. It's interesting because I think if you are in that situation and you suspect something, if you're not Owen, you're not going to be the one to say, well, Owen, I think this may be going on, because if you're wrong, that's bad. That's really, really bad.
This is worse. I think...
This is worse than everything. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the person that's like, hey, listen, I think this is going on. Because, yeah, if you're wrong, it's no good. And even if you're right, it also a lot of times turns out to be bad. Whoever the person is who's the messenger of so-and-so is cheating on you, it doesn't even matter if it's true or not. You are always the bad guy.
The moment that we started seeing Schmidt in sort of the role of text message guru to everyone else, I knew eventually we were going somewhere with this. I did not expect that. I out of all the things I thought about when it comes to how Owen found this out, I did not think the R-rated version of the butt dial was going to be the way in which it happened.
No, I honestly didn't think that's what was going to be happening either. And even having to listen through that, hearing the part where she's kind of like, this is goodbye, it's like, Teddy, did you really need to do that to say goodbye? You're about to marry Owen in a few hours. Like, who does that?
She already said goodbye. That's the thing about that. And that's why Teddy, it's always sucks to have your heart hurt. I get that, but Teddy not only made her own bed, she took all those little fancy throw pillows you get at Pier 1 and she put them all over the bed. She made the breakfast to put on she did everything to make it so that this would happen. Short of maybe going around with a megaphone and be like, guess what I just did with Karasik?
Yeah, no, Teddy is really frustrating me. And, she's not someone that I dislike or I'm like, yeah, I'm the number one Teddy fan out there either. But this episode especially has been so frustrating with Teddy because I get that she's in this situation. She loves two men. I understand what Tom is saying where he's like, you're holding the gun to your own head to go through with this wedding when you know that you love me. But sleeping with him to be like, oh, it's just the last hurrah, say goodbye. We're saying goodbye through this. I mean, and then a couple hours later, I'm going to put on a wedding dress and go marry someone else. She's frustrating me.
Yeah, I am dangerously close to being out on Teddy for eternity. I'm pretty much out on her right now, just in general. It's been such an ongoing process. It's right before the wedding. It's also, you don't get to dictate the terms of when Karasik gets to say goodbye. And I'm not advocating for him being with Teddy when he knows that Teddy and Owen are about to get married either, but he also, she can't sort of order him to take the same sort of symbolism from them being together that she is taking from it.
Well, that's the thing. And she knows that he is not taking it that way. He just told her, meet me here at the car. I will be waiting. I will take you away. We will be together no matter what. We'll figure it out together. He is not saying goodbye, and Teddy knows he's not saying goodbye. So to then put him through that and have that moment, and then at the end of it be like, oh, and by the way, bye. Teddy is just on my no list right now. I don't know how else to say it. I'm just not really down this path with her.
I think there's the no list, and then there is also the no that's 8 letters of O after the it is the no as said by Luke Skywalker no, which is where I am with Teddy right now.
Well, what I'm really interested in is sort of this idea of, what happens now? We don't know where Owen's going to land. If Owen ends up saying sorry for your luck, this is not happening, then what happens? Is Tom just going to be like, oh, I don't mind being, second best. Come on in, Teddy. Is he that in love with her? He's like, I don't care why you're here or how you're here. We're going to figure it out because I know you love me. Because he is that kind of guy that has that kind of ego to be like, well, you were never meant to be with him anyways. So
it's
welcome.
It is gonna
to
be
Club Tom.
I don't know if I want to go to Club Tom right now. I would hang out at Club Tom a lot. I like Tom, and I'm not visiting Club Tom at least tonight. But yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk more about it in the season 17 video. But I think for now, I think Tom would do that. I kind of agree. I think he could seemingly go in that direction, but I think she would need to be fairly decisive with it. I don't think she could sort of continue to just go back and forth on this pendulum forever.
Yeah, because I mean, if we're then in the situation where Owen comes back with something or she gets scared over with Tom and now she's back over with Owen again, I mean, that's how we ended up in this situation right now anyways. Owen, she was worried about Amelia and the baby being Owen's, and he's calling her to go sledding, and she's sleeping with Tom.
There's so much here, and it is all a mess. So we need some good news. Let's talk about Richard being okay.
Yes.
That will make us all feel a little bit better. I don't think anyone seriously thought that Richard was going to die.
No.
They're not going to kill off Richard Webber weeks after killing Alex Karev. Well,
No.
they didn't kill Alex Karev. They killed Alex Karev in my heart. But no, they're not going to do that. I mean, ultimately, Webber, he's okay. DeLuca saves the day. He finds out I want to call this Operation Cobalt because that's what he's able to uncover here.
Yeah, it was this part of the episode was really cool because some of the stuff that I like about this show so much is the medical stuff. I like seeing everybody kind of coming together, trying to work different diagnoses and figure out what's wrong and going through all the different testing and all the different conversations. So I really enjoyed seeing this. Of course, I knew in my heart, I think we all knew Richard was going to be okay. And we kind of predicted that Katherine was going to be like, okay, all water under the bridge. Richard is in trouble. I'm here for him. I'm bonding with him. And all this time, of course, he's not able to bond back. So as soon as he was back to himself, to see him straight up be like, I have not forgotten what you've done to me. This happening to me doesn't all of a sudden magically erase everything. That was actually really interesting to see.
I'm trying to put this delicately because I feel bad for Katherine in that moment, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that they did that because
she ruined his life.
Yeah, I mean, she took away his hospital. She just did it, and she did it because she was mad. It wasn't because some sort of larger reason. It didn't have anything to do with money. It just had to do with she had a vendetta, and she wanted to take out the vendetta on him. I mean, I think they can eventually gravitate towards each other again. I don't think this is necessarily done, but I think Katherine is going to have to work really hard in order to repair things, just like Richard's going to have to fix himself, because I'm sure he's not 100% at all.
No, I mean, I like that they went in this direction too. I mean, at the very least, and I mean very bottom, she owes him a real apology. But on top of that, she owes him the work that's going to need to go into this to fix this, what she did. What she did was spiteful and mean. And it's not something that you do to someone that you love. There's going to need to be real work. Because also trust was broken in that. I mean, how then is the next time something happens that she's not going to take away something else from him that's connected to his career and what he's trying to do or something else? That trust is broken. So I think they will get back together, but I think it's going to be a road and it's going to be a process.
The victories here are kind of twofold. We have Webber, who is okay now.
Yep.
It seems like he's going to be... Most people, I think, are going to forgive him for everything that happened in the middle of it. It's sort of... anytime you have a medical thing and you're not in control of your own mind, everything will be sort of water under the bridge. For DeLuca, I think what's interesting now is he does save the day, but it doesn't exactly feel like he is really together at the end of all of this. And this may not be DeLuca being manic. To me, this may just be DeLuca being exhausted and frustrated and emotionally spent after going through weeks of everyone saying, oh, you're crazy, and then he actually does something right.
Yeah, and we saw that this whole process to even get to this cobalt thing took a really long time. This wasn't just a couple of days. So, I mean, we don't know in that time how much DeLuca was, again, sleeping, eating, doing anything. It was all hands on deck all the time. So that breakdown at the end, I know we saw, Meredith get asked out for a drink. She said no, maybe another time. So, at least, we'll get to that. And the doors open a little bit there. But it was nice to see her still there for DeLuca because this relationship is still somewhat in play. So seeing him have that breakdown, what I'm hoping for is that we are going to see at least some kind of tie up to, is he manic? Is he not manic? Does he just need a big long sleep? What is happening here? And having Meredith by his side, I think we're going to find that out.
I hope we're gonna find that out. I hope this is on the beginnings to good things for DeLuca. I like that they had him have this win at this point and that they didn't sort of forget about him. And I think that's what's kind of serendipitous about this episode feeling like a finale, in that you sort of think about the larger stories for this season. You have what's been going on with DeLuca, Meredith's relationship with DeLuca, Amelia's pregnancy, Teddy and Owen. We do get some element of closure to a lot of this sort of stuff.
Yeah, we do.
And the Amelia story, it's actually nice that there's not that much to talk about with it, because it's sort of like, okay, she has the baby seems to be healthy, Link is happy, everyone is happy, and it's, how much have we been ever able to say that with Amelia?
It's true. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't a little bit disappointed that Link wasn't able to be there for the birth of his own kid. But that's a sacrifice that he is that type of person that will sacrifice to be able to help and to be able to help Richard. Of course he's going to be there. I mean, it would have been nice to see him there for the birth of his first kid. But it was cool to see Bailey there, and it was still so nice. It was really, I loved it.
My favorite moment of the entire episode was Bailey basically just like getting behind Amelia, and
yes.
they brought up everything Bailey has gone through, and it shows just how strong that character is. And like, remember months ago when everyone was just mad at Bailey for how she was treating Meredith?
That's all over.
I know. It's now everyone is like, Bailey must be protected at all costs. We love her. She is perfect. Don't do anything to destroy her.
Yes.
This was such a good episode for her, and a great episode for Amelia. Yeah. She has a son. We don't know the name yet. That is also a cliffhanger. What do you name the kid?
I don't know. I mean, this is why I really was rooting for Link to be the dad, because these two characters, like I said, they love each other, but they're still kind of new. They don't know each other that long. So it's going to be, these are the types of stories that I'm really interested in. What are the names going to be? How are they going to raise him? How are they going to move forward with all of this? There's a lot of story to be mined.
Just don't tell Teddy to give suggestions about the baby name, because she will tell Amelia to name him Owen. Like, just don't find a way to go to her. Is it too soon for the Teddy baby name jokes?
Oh my goodness. Or she'll tell Amelia to name him after a past love.
Well, come
on.
It's so
weird.
Yeah, it's a weird, messy situation with all of that. But I guess the last sort of major thing that kind of happened in here is Meredith kind of sort of gets asked out by Cormac. I mean, at least for a drink. It's not the most serious, I'm here to sweep you off your feet moment. But...
yeah, and I mean, it was so casually asked that I wasn't even really sure if it was a date. I know the rest of the crew was all kind of like, oh, and this, and oh, you're mentioning Meredith. And I mean... it's hard to read him. I mean, even that moment where it's like, you could smile more. I'm just like, yeah, you could smile more. Like, what is happening? It's really hard to read him. So when he was just kind of like, oh yeah, you want to grab a drink? I mean, people say that to just their coworkers or friends all the time. I wasn't sure if he was asking her out yet.
I kind of feel like he was, but I'm not 100% on it. I'm my read on it.
I'm not sure.
And I could be wrong. I just think it is, this guy has not been on many dates, I'm assuming, in many, many years. I don't know if he knows how to handle things in that situation. Maybe he is sort of like, oh, let's grab a drink. And maybe in his head, he is like doing the, I am here to give you the most romantic bar night of your life. And it is sort of coming out of him, just like, hey, you want to grab a drink? Maybe his head and his heart are in like two different places.
Maybe. I know everybody was talking about sort of the dating app and this and that. And when it kind of came around to him, he was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And he has mentioned that he hasn't been out and he wasn't really ready to be out. So when he, asked, I was like, I just can't tell yet. Are you just asking? Maybe you're just testing the waters. Okay, it's not a date, but let's hang out and see what happens.
I think he's kind of testing the waters. I think he's also intimidated, and I think he doesn't want to go fully there because that's that fear of rejection, and
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into that, and I'm sure we will pick up on that at some point. But I enjoyed this episode more than, even at times more than I thought, just because I didn't expect it to be much of a finale. But I'm coming out of it okay with almost everything other than Teddy.
I even am enjoying all the drama that's going on with Teddy. I mean, this isn't Grey's Anatomy without some kind of drama going on.
Well, let us hear from you guys about all this. What did you think about the Grey's Anatomy season 16 finale? Be sure to share in the comments, and if you guys do like this video, remember to give us a like, subscribe, and if you want to support us further, check out the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.